Hello, everybody. Just very thankful to get to be a part of this year's clinic. I know it's a unique year being a virtual clinic. Very thankful to Jeff Williams and DJ Mars for asking me to be a part of the clinic. I know a lot of the great high school coaches in the state of Arkansas, being an Arkansan, growing up in the state, playing high school football in the state, and going to the University of Arkansas. I'm very, very protective and partial of the high school football in our home state. I think it's just phenomenal. Y'all do a great job. And a lot of what I've learned over the years are because of high school coaches from the state of Arkansas, either whether it be playing for Gus Malzahn or whether it be playing for Chris Wood or just getting to know a lot of the coaches that either I played against and now I've been able to come by your school and recruit. Just got a lot of respect for what y'all do and making a difference in young people's lives and high school coaches in general, but in the state of Arkansas really made a difference and an impact in my life. And so humbled to get to be a part of this clinic today. I'm blessed to be at Miami, at the University of Miami. And I'm just going to share a little bit about a couple things that really about 2 or 3 years ago, probably midway through the first year I was at SMU, we're always trying to evolve, and we're a no huddle offense. We spread the field and a lot of things that I know a lot of you do, but you're always having to evolve. And in the last 2 or 3 years, midway through that first year at SMU, we kind of stumbled onto a couple things that has helped us play faster, be more multiple, both in the run game and the pass game, with our RPOs, with our base calls, but while still keeping it very simple for our kids. And then also, developed into running more what we call choice routes here. There's some schools that do it. Coach Briles at Arkansas does it. He's phenomenal at it. Schools like Central Florida do it. We've been doing it now for 2 or 3 years, and it's really helped make us more explosive. Not have to have the right play call all the time, let your players play, almost like a motion offense in basketball a little bit. So I want to share a little bit about those two things with you. There may be things you already do. Hope you can take one thing from it. I look forward to being able to come out, hopefully once COVID is behind us, and see everyone again and talk ball in person. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and try to get right to it. And then let me see. Obviously, yep, I think we're working. I'm not sure if the technology is my strength, but I think we got it rolling here. And so really just kind of what you're seeing on the screen in front of you is an example of what, and Johnny Brewer, who's been with me for a long time, 7 or 8 years, and is just phenomenal and has been a big part of us having some success at the college level. I think he's the one who actually ended up calling it turbos. It was just a way for us to categorize things. But I'll give a quick description, and then we can get into the video and just kind of go from there. But our base formations are very simple. We try to have short wording so we can play fast. So like doubles right is 2x2, trio right is a 3x1, twins right or duo right is like our 2x2 11 personnel set. And we have about 6 sets that we carry, 2x2, 3x1 versions of a 10 picture, an 11 picture, and a hand down tight end picture. And outside of that, we may run some empty, some games, some big sets, but those are kind of our home. That's who we are, But outside of that, we stumbled onto what's a way we can play faster, still keep the wording concise, and a lot of carryover for our players. And that's where we came into these, what we call turbos now. And like the picture at the top left for us, that would be trio right for us. But for me to get that actual picture right, I'm going to have to call trio right bunch, inside zone, spot hitch in some way, however your vernacular works. And that's too wordy. That's not who we are. That's not what we do. And we don't want to be wordy in an effort to try to play fast and be more concise for our players. So what we did is we just kind of we fell into this after doing it for a few games. We just kind of fell into naming these formations. And so like, for example, 0 and 1 for us became our kind of trio bunch set. And so if you look now, it's a right and left deal, and we gave them numbers. You can do whatever. We have about 5 of them that go left and right. And so the one that is on your screen right now on the top left would be like going 0, because that tells our guys we're putting the bunch to the right. If I was to say 1, you would just flip this in your this picture in your brain. We don't flip the outside receivers here. So like our 9 is like our X on the left and our 2 is like our Z. He stays on the right. And those guys never flip unless we have a slot set and a big set. And we let our inside guys, our slot and our tight ends, those guys do all the adjusting. So it allows us to still play faster. But they can learn, hey, if it's 0, I do this. If it's 1, I do this. And we've just found over the last 2 or 3 years that really helps our outside receivers with consistency, keeps it simpler, helps them play faster. And we've had a lot less busts or issues, and our execution, I think, has been better. So that's how we do it. And so if you look at this picture on that top left, instead of me on the right hash saying, hey, we're going to go trio right bunch, inside zone, spot hitch, now I can just say 0. Well, 0 tells our guys the bunch is going to the right. And we have FIB and normal field rules. And so if the ball is on the right hash there, they know their FIB rules. If it's 0, the single is going to be at what we call the divide there between the hash and the numbers. And the point man of the bunch, which is always our tight end or probably your Y, however you do things, he's always going to set the point between the numbers and the sidelines. And he just knows that. Then to the top right, if the formation was to the field and I called 0, then the point knows he's going to set it at the divide, and the single knows he's going to set it at between the numbers and the sidelines on the left. And so we're always trying to create that space. We're wanting to really make the defense defend the whole field, but at the same time, not be so wide that our quarterback's arms won't fit what we're trying to do. So it allowed us to call 0 and 1 really fast. Well, what we've taught our guys is we have rules. So that's their alignment rules. Well, they know if I call any 0 and 1, that's no different if after the play's over, they look over and they see doubles right. They're getting set as fast as they can. Here comes the play. If I say trio right, they're getting set as fast as they can. Here comes the play. Well, now if I was to say 0, right, they know we get lined up really fast. And now what's the play? There will still always be a play that comes with it. And by us doing that, we've built in flexibility. Because now they know any 0 and 1 formation call with any run in our system, whether it's inside zone, outside zone, counter tray, whatever you want it to be, they know if it's any run after a 0 and 1 tag, the single has a hitch, the 3-man has a spot. Very simple. And so that allows us to play fast. And then they know if it's any pass, like the bottom right example is a verticals. If I call 0 and 1 verticals, they know they're going to run their verticals, but as fast as possible. And they're vertical, and their passing game 3-by-1 rules would take over. And then the bottom left is we have a way to double move all these turbos. So 0 and 1, and we're going to throw hitch, spot, whatever run. We now have a way to go hitch and go or spot and go very fast as well. And so that's the 0 and 1. That's kind of the first one. Just wanted to kind of give a quick overview of how we got there and why we do it. Again, y'all may already be doing something similar to this in your own way, and that's phenomenal. But it's really helped us play fast, but not be as predictable. Be more multiple, get guys in space, give the quarterback options. The way I look at it is I want my quarterback to be like a point guard. I want him to be a distributor, and I want him to make big plays. But on normal nights, if he just goes for 14 points, 10 or 11 boards, and he's getting the ball out, not taking sacks, not taking negative plays, not turning over, getting the balls to playmakers, we're going to win. And then there's some nights that, hey, he may have to drop 25. We all know how that goes. But I want to give him the options to do that if we're going to play fast. And I don't want him to ever be in a bind. And that's my goal as a play caller is if we run 80 plays at the end of the game, man, I hope 0, but no more than 1, maybe 2, or I go, man, I put him in a bind. He really didn't have an out. So that's kind of how we got to this. I'll kind of get into some video, and I think it may make a little more sense. You can see this was last year at SMU, or year 2019. We're going fast. We're getting lined up. You can see the defense isn't lined up. This was on the right hash. So we had done something on the left hash. I think we'd thrown an out route and got a first down. Or actually, no, I'm wrong. It's second down. But it's now second down on the right hash, and I call 0 fast. And I just called inside zone. But by me doing that, the single to the field, you see his alignment, splitting the difference there. He's going to run a hitch. Down here, we're going to run a spot. And we ended up really trying to make this as simple as possible too. Our spot rules down here out of this bunch are very simple in that number 1 is the spot. Number 3 is always wrapping best release for the corner or number 1. And the point guy is always going to block 2. And the quarterback's got number 3, right? Because we can block 1 and 2. We can't block 3. So the quarterback should not throw it out there if there's 3 guys out there or he doesn't like the leverage of 1 and 2. And obviously, if he's got the gift hitch, let's take it every time. But you can see we're going fast. It spreads the defense out. Here they got 3 guys outside the left tackle to the field covering 1 guy. And they got 3 guys outside our right tackle covering the bunch. So we hand the ball off. But it's a good run numbers. And it's literally just a numbers game at this point. But we were able to do it fast because I didn't have to call trio right bunch, inside zone, hitch, spot. I just called 0 inside zone. And whether, like for us, whether that's 0 ND, 0 15, whatever your number in our naming system is. Here's the same thing this year against Pittsburgh. You can show 0. You can see the chains moving. We got a positive play on first down. It's 2nd and 2. We line up now in 0 to the right. We got a bunch spot. We got a hitch, and we got a run. He decided to go ahead and read it out, and that's the beauty of inside zone. He doesn't have to throw it. He can always read it. We hand the football off, and now we got a first down. All right, kind of come to the same situation. We're playing Florida State this year. We line up fast. He fakes the throw, but you can see the blocking. The point's always going to block 2. We're going to wrap for 1. They got 4 guys over there covering 3. He could have thrown the hitch here, right? If he felt this safety coming down, that's probably an area we could get better. This was, I think, game 3. He decides to hand it off. They're not even lined up. Again, it allows us to play fast. Defense is having to adjust to formation to the boundary. They're having to adjust to a bunch. They're having to adjust to spread. We may have been in a tight set the play before because we've got this married up to where we can be in a heavy set and 12 personnel or whatever, and our guys know the rules. So I can run 3rd and 1, run power out of a 21 personnel look, and the next play being this. And that's really become a big advantage for us. Here's an example of the quarterback looks out. He knows we can block the most dangerous 2. Safety's high. He deals it, and now we're going. Again, allows us to get the ball on the perimeter, get the ball in space, make the defense defend the whole field. You can see here we're running a counter tray with instead of inside zone. Because, again, our guys know it doesn't matter. Any run, we're running spot hitch. Okay, here it is again. Ball's a little more in the middle, left middle. And, look, we try not to – I've learned over the years we used to be really anal about our alignments. And alignments do matter. But you can stress a kid out over I'm 2 outside the hash, I'm 2 inside the hash. Spacing is important, but don't stress about those things. Give them freedom to play fast and play confident. The ball's left middle here. They just make it right. Our receiver up there is normally between the number ticks there and the sidelines. He adjusted. The point guy's normally where the numbers would be here at that divide. He just adjusted to the tick marks, and they make it right. And now the quarterback sees they're not lined up. It's happened fast. This is the one I was thinking of. We had thrown an out route to get to 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1, he deals it. And now we've got 2 on 2, and we're getting our playmaker in space, have a chance to be explosive. And you can see the chaos it's creating for the defense, always trying to keep them on their heels. Here we go again. This would be 1. So I told you earlier, 0's right, 1's left. Again, you could name it razor and laser, whatever. But we didn't worry about the players knowing, hey, it's hashed field or boundary. It's just left and right. So they don't have to worry about where the ball is. Nothing. They just go get lined up. And so we went 1. Looks like we're running inside zone. Throws it out again. Why? Well, I got the numbers. I got 2 guys here. Honestly, he's got the hitch. It just comes into numbers and spacing. And there we go. All right. Same deal. See him out there again. Now, what happens if the corner's tight and traps? Our rules don't change. We used to have the point guy go out to the corner and inside, and that's sound. And if that's how you want to do it or do it, great. But what we've learned is that creates a lot of thinking. You may have a guy get hurt, throw in your sophomore player or whatever. Let's keep it very, very simple. And the simpler that I've learned over the last 2 or 3 years that I've kept things, and we were always pretty simple, but our guys play faster and they make things right better. And so sometimes that's hard on us as coaches to take out the coach of it and the scheme. You got to have enough scheme, but let the players do the work. And so here we're still going to have our number 3 wrap for number 1, which is this tight corner. We're still going to have our point guy go inside to number 2. And now the receiver that's catching the spot, if he feels that, he's got to work to the quarterback and help him out, just like this. Now, really, our tight end, I think, should have blocked this Will linebacker out here in space, but he made a decision. He moved on up. And you can see we're able to play fast. And Tulsa, who's a really good defense, they're not lined up. All right, this was the same deal. And now you're going to see us. I think we're going to throw a hitch here. So the quarterback just sees they're giving me the gift to the field. Take it. Get it to a player in space. Again, make people tackle. All right, this was us this year against Florida State. Now, what's great is as we've grown through this, right, you always evolve and learn. We don't have to just tempo it. We can motion to it. And so now this was a P and 10 to start a drive, so there is no tempo, but I want to get to the same thing. So we're just going to line up in our double set, motion to 0, and still have a run with a pass, and the quarterback can make decisions. They don't adjust. They actually blitz. We got the numbers, throw it out, and there we go. And he's still got the ability to hand the ball off if he felt like he needed to. All right, this was us this year against North Carolina State. Same thing. Now to the field. So we're just going to motion to what we would call 1. And you can see our guys get their normal alignments. Quarterback needs to snap the ball a little quicker. But he can see they're in a robber shell, 3-high safety shell. As long as obviously our receiver gets all he can handle here. But it's a little scary. The outside receiver needed to work back inside and help out the receiver blocking. Because really he needs to go inside the kick out and the down block. But still, you get it out in space. You get 5 or 6 yards to start a drive. He's got the ability to hand it off, throw the gift hitch. And it's almost like us throwing a field spot screen, but without it having to be all or nothing with the screen. Same thing here. Do it out of more of a heavy set with our tight end. This is our twin set. Motion our tight end out. We got a tight end at the point. We're in 12 personnel here. They don't adjust well. We block 2, run on the 3rd and 4th guy, get it to player in space, and that was a P and 10. Now we got a first down, and now we've got some tempo cranking. You see, he could have handed the ball off too. If he chose to, he could have read 17, and we'd had a pretty decent run box. This is in our bowl game. Same situation. We're going to motion now. Instead of a spot, we just bubbled it. Get to a bunch, run a bubble. This was a little bit of a game plan deal. We don't wrap the bubble. We just block 1 and 2. But again, got us a way to get a player in space, give him a run pass option. But just get to the same thing a bunch of different ways once your guys get comfortable. We're running outside zone here with it. Okay. Now I told you about us being able to double move things. You can see we kind of got in trouble. I don't remember if the refs messed up or if we subbed a running back, but we were trying to play fast. They had a guy on the field. He stops us. So we got our double move. So now we've called our 0 and 1, in this case 1 with a double move. So we're going to run a hitch and go up top. We're going to run a spot and go down low. And the quarterback has very simple. If it's single high and I'm 1-on-1, I got the hitch and go. If it's, in this case, they've overloaded 4 over 3 to our bunch set, which is actually why we called it. The play before, there was 2 guys out here. They overloaded. He knows I don't want to throw the spot and go. I'm going to work the hitch and go. And he knows when we give our double move, he's going to call the pass protection. We fake the spot. We got the hitch and go. We have the spot and go. Fake the spot, run the seam, run the trail. We ended up throwing to the 1-on-1 and making a play. Our back would use our normal protection rules here for what we would have called our 6-man protection. You see him checking down. So it just gives the quarterbacks options. But we can take now, again, it didn't manifest itself that way, but we can go fast and take shots going fast. Now, the great thing, too, is our entire offense can be run out of this. And so we've kind of devised it. We have 2x2 and 3x1 rules in our passing game. So like if I call verticals and 3x1, they know where we set the protection, the reads, et cetera, versus 2x2. So our guys know 0 and 1's a 3x1 formation. So if I call 0 and 1 verticals, 0 and 1 cross, 0 and 1 anything, they know they're just going to their regular 3x1 rules. We're just doing it out of the bunch and single. So we had verticals here, and our quarterback was able to signal the vertical ball to the single. Hey, they gave him 1-on-1. He took it. You can see up top, we're running verticals out of FIB, and we make a play. The thing I've loved about it is you can go from formation regular to FIB. You can change the picture, and you can do it fast, and you can run your base calls that really your guys just have to learn formation. And now, other than some game plan things, they don't have to learn a whole lot different. This is the same deal. Now we just run the same thing. We're going to work the verticals to the boundary. And you're going to see our spacing wasn't great. We were a little tight. And this was game 3. We have our seam for a touchdown, and we just miss him. But it allowed us to do it fast. You can see a quarterback checks his single, comes back through his progression. That's kind of what we thought we'd get. We miss it. Now we're running kind of a version of a double post wheel out of the same set. Totally different play call for us. But we knew we would be able to get probably the out and up. They were a quarters team. They were going to double the post or turn it loose. again, you can see they're just now getting lined up. We're able to snap it fast with some tempo and let our guys play and go make plays, doing kind of what we do. All right, this was a little bit of a game plan. Actually, this is the second play of the game, but we still lined up in our zero. We're going to take our number 3 and run a sluggo or a double move off the safety. So this is a little unique, but it allowed us to game plan and keep a lot of the rules consistent for our guys, and then try to identify a matchup we thought we could exploit. So that is, excuse me, that is just kind of a quick overview of kind of the process we went to get there. I'm kind of messed up here. I didn't mean to hit that. Now I can go a little faster. Now I've kind of taught you the concept. So then we took it a step further. So for us, we kind of limited ourselves to the numbers 0 through 9. So we kind of thought of what are some formations we can run a lot of our base stuff out of that we want to get to quick, but that would be wordy if we tried to call it all the time. That's how we got to that 0 and 1. And then it grew to, okay, well, hey, let's get in a 3-by-1 with a hand down tight end. We called that 2 and 3. And so you can see here, it's the same rules. 2 puts our stack to the right. Now it's a 2-man stack, okay, with a hand down tight end and a single run and a glance. And so go back to our rules. Any 2 and 3, they know we're going to have a glance, a stack, and a run, but I can call inside zone. I can call power. I can call counter. I can call dart. I can call stretch, whatever. And the rules stay the same. Same thing if I ever wanted to double move it. I could double move the glance and go. I could double move the spot and go. And then as you see at the bottom, an example of a verticals or a cross concept out of the same thing. And so it allows us to go at pretty good speed. So like for us, this is 3 into the boundary fast. You can see it's 1st and 10. We're moving at a decent clip and we're just running inside zone. But the single now knows if it's 2 and 3, my single rule is not a hitch, it's a glance. They know up top, I got a 2-man spot. The point's always going to block the most dangerous. Obviously, if it's press, he'd block him. So the quarterback now knows my numbers are, I can block 1. I've got whoever number 2 is. And then I've got a glance. In this case, with a single high safety, he went ahead and pre-snap and said, I'm not throwing the glance. I'm going to either run it or throw the spot. And again, we're able to run inside zone. Our back's able to bounce it out the backside. But again, what I like is once the quarterbacks get comfortable with it, if they're good at making decisions and fast, he's got 3 options on every play. He can throw it left, he can throw it right, he can hand it off, in some cases read it and pull it. But we're able to call it fast. Here it is, 2nd down and 1. We went same play. We handed off, similar result. And you can see it's always good. We need to snap the ball faster. This was game 2 for us, but they're just getting lined up and there we go. All right, same thought. This was 2 for us at SMU. We're running inside zone. You see now the quarterback's got great. This is a scenario where from a numbers count, that glance is starting to look pretty good. They're coming up tight on the spots. That's okay, whether we double move it or in our passing game, and I'll get to that in a minute, have some answers. But again, now the defense is stressed, okay? And this is, to me, and this is not anything – and earth-shattering, right? It's football, but we're making them defend the whole field. You got a safety that's either got to come down and play the run or double the glance. You got 2 for 2, has to go cover the spot or you're going to throw it out there. And really, in this case, they've got the numbers in the box almost with the safety. But then when the safety starts messing around and misfits in tempo, we run inside zone, he hands it off. Now we can create big plays on simple plays. And look, we try to scheme 5 to 10 explosives a game because explosives is how you win. It's the name of the game. It's the number 1 stat, in my opinion, in high school and college football. But you're at your best and you're really good when your base plays become your explosives. That's what I've been able to figure out. And here it is again, same thing. Again, with that safety where he is, I might be thinking glance if I was the quarterback. Now, hey, he's playing. He chose to read the run to the spot screen with that guy that far off. But, man, I'd be reading this guy over my left thinking, can I throw the glance? Because the glance looks like it's pretty good. Fortunately for us, our back made the free hit or miss, but we were able to come back on the sidelines though and say, hey, Shane, look, next time we go 2 and 3, that safety's down. I think you got the glance. And so that's how we can adjust and use information in game, because if we're able to run it effectively, as we know, they got to come down. Same thing here. They're kind of zeroing it out almost. Safety's got to stay backside now a little bit more, right? Because the run fit scored a touchdown. Can't throw the spot. He knows with the man outside the tight end, I've got to read it. Obviously, the glance looks good, but he'd get killed. So we're able to pull it. And that's the fourth element. Obviously, the quarterback being able to keep the football and run it. And that wasn't even his strength. But here we are this year doing the same thing. You can see now, luckily, we were able to convince the officials to let us play with Canadian rules and be in motion at the snap. They didn't call it. But Florida State's definitely not ready. And we're able to throw the ball out there quick and get an explosive play on something very simple with a little tempo and keep the defense on their heels, which is really our ultimate goal. Same thing here. Here's a scenario. We had 3rd and 1. I called it fast. And the quarterback now, again, this is like game 6 or 7. He's starting to get more comfortable, and he realizes, well, I got 2-on-2, but the second guy's really high to the field. And I like my matchup on the spot. And normally 3rd and 1, I'd be thinking run it, but he can see they've got us overloaded here. They're going to be able to bring 2 outside. He still gets the ball out in space. We're able to make a guy miss, get enough for the first down. And again, even on 3rd and 1, not let the defense play the whole field. But this is a really nice job by the quarterback recognizing numbers. We didn't block it great either, but really glad he threw it out there. Here's another example. We're playing fast, 3rd and inches on the 2-yard line. I called inside zone thinking let's run it, but the defense can't get lined up. They don't have anybody out there. Quarterback common sense throws it out. We blocked the one guy, and we scored the touchdown. And again, all that is because we were able to get lined up fast in unique formations, but still kind of do what we do. Here's an example of in one of those games where we said, hey, they're starting to bring the backside safety down, put an extra hat in the run game. They're 2-over-2 on the spot game. We got the glance. So now you can see the quarterback reads the backside safety, throws the glance. And look, we can go into games and tag certain things, but on our turbo calls, we try not to change the RPOs the whole year. We want our guys to get used to it and leave that the same. And if I want to run a different RPO, I would then call like tray left inside zone with whatever RPO I wanted, just to keep consistency for our guys. Here it is again. We're actually going to play with tempo here now. We're going to run the pipe pass. So we're going to run a spot screen with our left tight end on a pipe and a go to the right, but it's happening fast on 3rd and 1, a heavy rundown. They lose the tight end. Guys make good throw and catch. And again, just giving that quarterback options. This is an RPO all the way. You can see we're running outside zone, locking it out. And then that's a really good throw and catch for those guys. Now you start getting into thinking, what's our pass concepts? Well, again, we ran verticals out of a 3-by-1. Now we can run it out of here. So I've still got my single. I've got my tight end now at number 3, and I'm running a stack release in the vertical game. To our guys, it's just vertical. So let's just get our spacing right. We have a bust by number 11. He shouldn't be running a glance, but the quarterback's able to go single to tight end to number 3. His third option is the tight end on the seam. It's a good matchup for us, and we were able to do it quickly. All right. Same thing, same play, same game, a little tighter. Looks to the single, doesn't like it. Looks to the tight end. They match. They're playing 0 for whatever reason. We like the matchup with our tight end on that safety out of the stack. Got him again. And sometimes it's just you're running your plays and your guys fit it. I remember figure it out, with your rules because you've done it so much. But I remember going to this game, our tight end was a good player. We felt like out of this set, that would be the answer. So our quarterback knew I'm going to read my progression, but we're thinking that number 3 option, that middle seam, what we call it, will have a chance. Here it is again. This is a cross variation out of the same factor or the same set, This would be like us going 2 cross. You see our tight ends there on the cross. He gets back all the way to his post curl. In a 2-minute situation, it really helps us play fast. Defense has to identify things. And again, we're just trying to make those guys who draw upside down stressed and have to think and uncomfortable. Cross again. He ends up taking the one-on-one ball. Fine. And you can see here we're able to swap and have the running back come across. It looks a lot more like the run. Go make plays. TCU, they're not lined up. Ball snap. We're playing full speed. That little bit of hesitation can make a big impact. This is a cross with a corner tag for us. So We call cross. We still tag corner. So now we have our single running a corner route, a lot of space. Again, we're able to do it fast. So the concept just allows you to, however it fits your system. Some people it does, some people it doesn't. You may already be doing this kind of stuff, but this has really allowed us to really grow. Now we thought, okay, we like those sets. What's something that you like to do fast that's unique? Well, unbalanced. So the next numbers were 4 and 5. So we said, okay, let's go to 4 and 5. And 4 is our unbalanced to the right. 5s are unbalanced to the left with a hand down tight end. And again, you see the top picture. They know in 4 and 5, any run, we're going to 3-man bubble, and any pass, we're going to run a pass. Which that bottom one is actually an example of our choice routes, which I'll talk about here at the end. So just some more examples of this. This would be like us at 3rd and 2, going somewhat fast, running what we call 4 with an inside zone. You can see a 3-man bubble. Pretty good run by our back there. But again, now you take into account, even though we're kind of in trouble here with the look, we don't block it up great. They had to get lined up quick to an unbalanced. We weren't unbalanced to play before. This is actually a slowed down version. So we hop the back. Again, he's got the bubble, probably could have thrown it. Chose not to, backed up. It's just an example of the set. We're running our base plays. Pretty good run right there. That's a freshman. I think it's going to be pretty good. Now, FIB, same thing. We go on balance into the boundary fast. Doesn't matter the run or the direction. It's 3rd and 1. Or actually, excuse me. Looks like 3rd and 1. And the down marker's wrong. But we got a bubble. We got to run. And let's go. Really difficult. We get that extra gap. We get unbalanced, make the defense line up, play assignment football fast. Same deal here. We lined up in our 4 formation. We kind of ran more of an arc, midline-ish type play with the quarterback. We were able to do it fast. I coached him to do this in individual every day. He's a really good player, but again, he had the same bubble option. We were able to tweak the run call, different than the last one, out of the same formation, run it fast, just like you do at the end of the day out of your base formations. You run different plays out of your base formations. We've just made this kind of a streamlined way. Here's us running counter with a tight end on the ball out of the same set. He's got a bubble. Didn't matter that it was counter. The run's the same. You see the defense isn't lined up. We're able to pull the tight end, make a play, get on the corner. Same thing here. We're actually running our outside zone with our quarterback here out of the same deal. 3rd and 3, snap it fast. They're not lined up. Probably, as you can see on a lot of these, we should be snapping the ball faster than we were. But, you know, we're a work in progress like everybody. You see here, snapping it. Should have gotten a penalty. We got to get set and snap it. We should have had men on the field. Now you throw the bubble out there. They're all running all over the place. Obviously, we didn't do too well there, but hey, it's 4 yards. I think we either got the 3rd and short or a 1st down. And then you can throw the football out of it as well. And you can choose to get the back out. You can choose to max protect like we do here, run a vertical choice concept. Happens fast. They bust. They turn a guy loose because they're not lined up to an unbalanced set. They got too many men over here to the right. We actually even checked because I think we saw that they were giving us a look too good to pass up. Here it is again. You can see we go ahead and let it rip. We sit it down. We play catch with the inside guy. What you can't see is obviously the flow of a game. You can't see how fast it's happening when we're rolling with some rhythm. But now we got into, okay, well, we got 2 sets of numbers left. We got 6 and 7, 8, 9. Again, and I'll say this, that may be enough for you. The first year we only did, no, we did them all. It started out with just a 0 and 1, and towards the end of the year we liked it, so we grew in the next year to now having 2 2x2 sets. So a 2x2 set with a hand down for us with a stack and a glance, very similar to 2 and 3. It's just a 2x2. So all of our pass concepts, whether it's verticals like the bottom left, whether it's a cross concept like the bottom right, now they know they're in their 2x2 rules. Obviously up top we can run the football and our same rules apply. We're going to have a stack spot and a glance, or, you know, whatever your rules you want to apply to it. So you can see here, This is game one. We should be running a glance up top, able to hand the ball off, have the spot. Same thing. It's a numbers game. Right here allows us to put the stack into the boundary. They got 3 guys over here. They got a high safety. Numbers are what we want in the run game. We're able to read it correctly, make a guy miss, make a good run. Again, very simple plays. Doing it fast, unique sets. We were in a completely different set to play before. Again, that's the part you kind of don't see. Here's an example again. I think this was actually out of a timeout. We still just lined up in it. Most of the time we play fast out of it, but it became a deal where it's really easy to call plays this way. I would say probably 25 to 30% of our calls in the game are out of these sets. So it's not like that's all we do. But because of that, that's just one more thing a defense has to be ready for that comes at them fast, on top of our base offense happening fast. Here's power with a spot. Again, you got 6 in the box. The numbers should be good. Here we go again. Throw the spot out there. The numbers were good. Same deal. Throw it out there. The numbers are good. And we kind of tell our guys, hey, if we get 4 or 5 on any perimeter throw, that's good. Like the quarterback's kind of rule of thumb is I want to be aggressive. I want to make the defense defend the field. He's got to get a feel for the game. But if I can throw it out there and get 4, then that's no different than a good run. Obviously, we hope to get more than 4, but that's kind of his. Hey, if I throw it out there and get 4, then to us, that's just as good as a run. Again, right there, that's 1st and 10. Now it's 2nd and 4, and we got a little tempo we can get going. We had power called. Same thing here. I think we're going to run verts out of the stack. So now you get your tight end of the field. You get still your one-on-one. You get your stack release on whatever concepts you've got called, which is always something the defense has to play. We read our verticals, so you can see our slots are reading a sit seams, what we call it. If he can't run by the guy, he's going to sit it down. Just a highlight. We called verticals, but it became a highly productive play because we were able to call it fast out of this set and just do our rules. Similar deal here. I think we call a version of cross with this, and we end up hitting a back shoulder to the first read. But same set, happens fast. Okay, and then the last one, we thought we were thinking of, okay, 8 and 9. It's just a 2-by-2, as you can see, 2 receivers to the field and a stacked kind of H-back, but hardly anybody ever motions with tempo, right? And so we said, hey, let's have one of them be a motion. So if we call 8 and 9, it's motion. We don't have to call the motion. They know 8, it's this guy motioning, 9, it's this guy motioning from right to left or left to right. I've got a speed sweep drawn up, but again, it's not limited to that. So in this case, we called 8, and we can run our speed sweep, and we can get lined up pretty quick. We can get the ball on the edge. But now there's motion coming, which, you know, I don't know. It's been solid for us, just because that's just a unique way that, you know, rarely do you tempo with some motion, and we've been able to. Here he is. We're going to motion and run counter with it. But our guys know where to line up. They know their rules. There you go. So that's kind of just to give you a quick snapshot of something that's really helped us. That little thing seems simple, gave us an edge. Again, hopefully something there may fit for you. And I will say this, at the end of every year, when we're doing kind of our quality control, like we look at it now and go, okay, did 0 and 1, did we get the production out of that we need? Or do we want to try something else? Like at SMU last year, our 6 and 7 was totally different than what I just showed you. It was like a bunch set that was good. We just didn't use it as much. And we decided to go to the 2-by-2 stack set. So at the end of the year, we'll take inventory. We liked it. We didn't. We could change it up. But when we start the season, our guys know these are our turbos. And then we've kind of grown it. Like that's how we call, I don't have it pictured, but that's how we call our unbalanced sets. We say gray and gold. Now we can line up in a heavy set unbalanced. We can say double stack. Now we're in one back with 2 receivers to each side stacked wide. And so a lot of one-word calls that just allows us to play fast, because that's who we are. If that's not who you are, then it may not be as important to you, but that's who we are and who we want to be. Now, choice routes, the last thing I'll say, and I will be very honest, didn't invent this, but over the last 3 years, started doing this at SMU and brought it here. It's been really, really good. All these choice routes I'm going to show you are out of those turbo sets. So it'll kind of marry up with what we're doing. We obviously run base plays not out of these turbo sets. We run our choice routes not, but it's a really good tempo call. It's a way to take shots, but if a defense wants to drop back and give you cushion, take easy possession throws too, and max protect. You can run it anyway. I found it's best for us in tempo. This first one's a 3x1 set, and we basically have, it's always either a tight end attached or a tight end in the backfield for us because we're going to max protect it. And our single, we have 3 ways to call it. I can call single choice. I can call the choice to the outside receiver to the 2-man side, or I can call choice to the slot. And our guys know what those rules are. So in this case, I called choice to the single, which what we've done is then married up the backside rules to where like our tight end at the point is going to run that sit seam like he did on verts. And we changed it actually this year to where our back receiver up there will also run a choice route. But let's go back to this receiver to the field by himself. A choice route for us is we're going to run through 10 yards. We're going to sprint through 10. And that receiver, he's got to beat the corner, and his job is you can give him a 2-way go or a 3-way go. Starting out, we gave him 2-way goes. It was easier. Then we added the third-way go. You may have some guys that can do all three and some that just can't make good decisions. You have to rep this a lot if you're going to do it because, like I said, it's like a motion offense in basketball. This is our deeper option routes, if you will. This receiver is going to run full speed, and he's going to run through 10. And if at that point he's won, he's gone. He's running a vertical ball. And we do not – on our normal vertical balls, we make our receivers outside release, and if we don't win, we throw back shoulders because – that way there's consistency for the quarterback. We can get good at winning or back shouldering because if you run inside, as a lot of y'all know, if you inside release, at least in college, I know on a go ball and get squeezed down, that safety's going to make a play. It's a low percentage ball. It's a pick waiting to happen. But when we give them choice routes, and you'll see in a minute, if they were to come up and press them, we do not care. They can release inside, outside. They just got to go. They got to fly off the ball. As he runs through 10, if that corner is really deep, he can then sit it down and run what we call a dime route because it's at 10 yards. So as he runs through 10, not to 10, as he runs through 10 and that guy's bailing cover 3, quarters, loose, whatever, he'll shut it down and come right back down his stem. To me, if you're going to give him a 2-way go, that's still a very productive play. Year 1 at SMU, we got him a 2-way go. Year 2 at SMU and here at Miami, we gave him a third option. And the third option is if you get a quarters team like this is the skinny post. And what it really becomes is if you win inside, it's a skinny inside go ball or outside. So I'm going to show you some looks. We just converted, what you can't see is in a big set on 3rd and 1, we had just converted on power, got like 3 yards. And we went really fast in 12 personnel to this set with 2 tight ends to our 2 set that we just saw and called our choice route to the single. And you can see it works out pretty well. Because he runs full speed. Now, this receiver, he's not wrong if he sits it down. He's not wrong if he runs by him, and he's definitely not wrong if he posts it. And the more they do it, especially if you're going to give them third option, they need to be able to feel that inside safety, a single high. Obviously, I don't ever want to post into single high or a quarter safety like this. But this guy, this was week 8 or so. He'd gotten a good feel for it. He sticks his foot in the ground, runs the post. But the great thing about this is I did not call tempo post. Because what if I call tempo post and they're cover 3, I'm done. Or man free, or even cover 2. I called tempo choice and gave this receiver the option and the quarterback the option to do this. Now, we knew we were playing a quarters team. We knew there was a good chance we'd get the post. But, again, we have outs if I'm wrong. As a play caller, I don't feel as bad now if I don't call it into the perfect look. I try to, but if I'm wrong, like, for example, here, we call choice. They press him single high. The quarterback now knows I've got the one-on-one best release. He decided to go outside. That's the exact same play that was a post the play before, and now it's a go ball. Really good play too. Here it is out of stacks. So now I've called choice out of the same stacks that you saw us running spots or verts, but now I'm calling the choice to the outside receiver to the 2-man surface. So, you know, whether you called it red, yellow, and black or gave them names, ace, queen, jack, whatever, your guys know, okay, hey, coach called this. All right. So the single's going to run what now this year we've put him on a choice too. But the point guy is going to run inside on the release and sit down at 10. He's basically his cover two. If they double both outside guys, he's my option to get open off the backer. You know, I don't want to call this versus cover two, but if I do, the backside guy still has the same choice rules. He's just running from stack, which in a quarters look could turn into double post, right? Which is what we thought. It happens. They play it really well here, to be honest with you. The safety plays high, but we're able to make a play. But we, you know, anticipated getting more cover two, but also knowing if they go cover three or they pressure, he can sit it down. He can win out of stack versus man, and you get the same choice route. And then sometimes you got to let your guys go make plays. Here it is. Same thing this year against Louisville. I've actually called the choice route to the outside receiver. Okay. Now this year, like I said, we started having both outside guys run choices to give the quarterbacks more options, but he can see right now the boundary safety's double and one. I'm working the field. He goes ahead and takes the easy completion. You can see the guy out that's running from the back of the stack. He's the choice read. So the slot has to sit down. He does not have a choice here. He is sitting down. The only guys with the choice on this are the outside guys. And the outside guy is kind of gray. If he sits it down and comes back down his stem, he's not wrong. Running by the guy, okay, he's not wrong. He made a decision. Quarterback took the completion, and that's a very productive play on what I'm calling a play to potentially be a shot. Turns into just a nice possession throw. Here's the same thing. I've called choice to the single. This is an example of he doesn't think he can win. He sits it down. We're able to play catch. Now, we tell those guys you got to run through 10 to get that DB's hips open up. And when you stick your foot in the ground, you got to come all the way back down the stem. Don't run inside. Don't drift. Come down the stem. The quarterback can throw you away from the defender and throw you back. So even when it's tight coverage like this, we still get a 7-8 yard gain. And you see what I like too is the ball gets out. It's max protected. The ball gets out. You're going to see the issue with going fast in a turbo. This was our 6 set I just showed you a minute ago, tight ends to the field, and we called choice out of it, and they turned the slot loose. We call slot choice. And you can see, look, honestly, they just turned us loose. They busted, but they busted the stack. They covered the outside guy. I thought live for a minute we were going to throw the field single on the post. Watch him post it over the top. Boom. But he'd already ripped it. They took one down the seam. And that's where I think the advantage of these in tempo, if you can run the ball effectively and you can get in stacks, you can get in bunches, you can do it out of regular too, and you can call these choice routes, it can be a pretty big advantage for you. Now, like I've said before, to me, it's a big investment. Okay. We don't just rep these every now and again. That we really have bought into doing this. Here's another one. You can see here, we've called an outside choice. The field guy up top, he sits it down. Down here, the slot, if I call outside choices, he has to sit it down. He's locked in. He's curling around to get open. The outside receiver's got the choice. They're back. He sits it down. He should keep coming back to the ball, but there's a nice possession throw. So as you saw in the first 2 plays, it's a deep shot. It can also be a possession throw. Here it is again. They go cover 2, so he can work that slot on the inside. They've doubled both outside guys. We got to win off that backer. But you do it enough. That's like you run a play. This isn't the ideal look. It's not a great look, but we have an out, and our out's a 10-yard gain. Here it is again, outside choice. They pressure. They pressure from the field. The guy up top's right. He beats. He wins on the corner. Go. Down here, we've got the slot sitting down. We got the dime. The quarterback's able to get the ball out, knows where everybody is, and makes the throw and the catch. Just a couple more. Here it is off our 8-9 motion. So we're actually going to motion and run choice routes with the outside guys behind it. And we really thought we would get the post over the top the way they rotated their quarter safeties, but they played off. They played back. So we'd worked the post like crazy. It's not there. He sits it down. We have a completion. Couple more. We check to it. Thinks he can win. Quarterback reads the safety right. And then this is why we went to letting both guys do it, so they can't double one side. He rolls over, got up top, wins, turns into just a go ball, but that was a choice route. Gave him a chance, make a play. But allowed me, like there, I checked it. But by calling choice, if they would have checked cover 2 or something, I would have felt pretty good about it. Slot choice down here. We got our tight end, was a really good player. He runs right by him. He had the opportunity, though, to win inside or out. It almost turns into slot fade. When we call slot choice, the outside receiver has to run a sit down or a dime. So now the quarterback has a single choice, a slot choice, and a dime. So if he gets like cover 3 here, he could have come back, as you see, to the dime, and we'd have had a good outlet. Last 2 or 3, I believe. Single choice, giving you this great cushion. They're playing a lot of cover 3. We're wanting to throw it down the field. We can't. Fine. We'll just play catch, take what they're giving us. And again, it allows us, what I love about it, it just allows us to be right. Here it is against Memphis a year ago. Press. Turns into a go ball. And then in our bowl game, I think this is the last one, I call choice. You see up top the single. He's trying to win. All right. He's trying to win. Well, okay. And then this is off of a switch. You take it to the next level. We're going to switch it. So now the inside guy knows he's running the sit down, hooking up in case it was cover 2. The outside guy can go. We actually thought they were going to play tight man and get a natural rub. They played off. That's fine, though. We've got an out. He's running his dime from the switch. And again, take the same concept and just run it a bunch of different ways, and allows you to be right more than not. And that's what I love about it. You don't put the quarterback in a bind that often. So, like I said, I hope that in this unique setting, obviously I wasn't able to see everybody while I was talking at a blank screen, but hope you got something out of this. I hope that if you got any questions, if you have a number, great, reach out. If not, I know Jeff and DJ have it. And again, I'm very proud to have played high school football in the state of Arkansas and to be from Arkansas. And I think what y'all do is phenomenal. And I think this convention is great. I'm humbled to be a part of it. And, look forward to y'all having great years next year, and us as well, hopefully, and hopefully a more normal year. So thanks so much for letting me share with you.